Paying attention. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. So we have activated the YouTube link. Let me just double check that Facebook is actually showing us on the primary page as well, because sometimes we know that that happens, right? One of the little gremlins that's in the Facebook system. Don't worry. By now, we more or less know what to be looking out for on a daily. So everybody's good? Yep, Facebook is on the primary page. Wonderful. Facebook is behaving this morning. And let me just grab the YouTube link. And I'm going to share that here with you all as well. So, right, beautiful. Okay. And we're hoping that next week we can have another conversation with Miss Marla Ducran. We might actually get a chance to interview her in person, because we're going to be, our paths will be traversing each other, or travel. Yeah, isn't that amazing? So, we'll get into some of the details there, because apparently there was another publication that wrote a story about minister who's in charge of work permits. And he made a statement that demonstrated, unfortunately, that he didn't actually read her report. And so you got to read, folks. If you want to be informed, either you have to read it or somebody else has to read it and give you factual information before you can provide a quote to media, because it becomes kind of obvious when you haven't done your homework, right? In terms of what is going on. So yeah, quite an interesting situation. And we are constantly investigating these matters, because I have my little black book where I make a lot of notes and notations, and I don't always say something at the time, but you better believe we are making notes. And there's a lot happening around immigration reform, immigration, what's actually happening in real terms at the immigration department that I'm more than cognizant of. And I will be updating you in due course. Now, in due course might not be next week. It may not even be next month, because sometimes I take a wait and see attitude and everything gets flushed out in the wash. All right. So Washington Boulevard, good morning. Windsor Park crew, West Bay folks, Florida's in Caymanians in Florida. Good morning to all of you. You now have the live link on our social media channels. Let's jump in. I do believe we have Mr. Honorable J.E. Banks waiting for us. I'm hoping that Mr. Brian is also with him, but let's check in and see what is going on there. Good morning, sir. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Sandra. How are you?
I'm not too bad. Where's your partner in crime this morning? I only see you.
I'm pretty sure he's on his way.
Okay.
Shortly.
All right. So I'm going to just message the people there in the studio. Your mic is coming in a little bit hot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull you out and give them an opportunity to just adjust that. And we're going to wait anyway, since the MP for Georgetown Central is on his way. We don't want to have to repeat everything once he gets in the studio. But look at Mr. J.E. Banks. Now, you guys know, someone said to me yesterday, she does not even live in Cayman. She's not even a Caymanian, but when she heard me say that Minister J.E. Banks was coming on the show today, she said, "Oh, girl, I got to tune in early because I really like when he comes on. He is a man who gets things done." And I said, yes, he sure does have that reputation. And of course, he would have been traversing all the way from North Side this morning, and he is early and into work and on time. And that's what we like to see from our representatives, that they are actually working. So let's just give him a few minutes, Minister Jay, to see if he's going to be able to pop in. And then otherwise, we'll get started, because everybody's time is extremely valuable. Good morning, Miss Barbara G. Damaris is here. Philip, good morning to you. How you doing, honey child? Miss Omiria says, good morning, Sandy. And the 3 Cayman Islands, have a blessed day. Of course, we want to give a big shout out to all of the lovely folks there in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. I don't even know what the population of Little Cayman is, but hey, you're part of us. It doesn't matter. We love you all the same. So good morning to them as well. One of the things that's in the back of my mind as we continue to grow the platform, and you guys well know by now that our radio license is on the verge of approval. So we've gone through quite a bit. We're almost there. One of the key things, though, is the fact that I'm always thinking about the sister islands. So on the one hand, there's a lot of stations that don't have a presence in the sister island. Well, CMR is going to be all about community. And so I want to ensure that we do our best to get a frequency there, that we're able to broadcast there. So, even as we're doing some research here on technical elements of our expansion into radio, in the back of my mind, I'm always like, make sure now that we can get on the BRAC. And, the excuse I've heard from other stations, I won't be calling any names this morning, is that it's not commercially viable for them to be in Cayman BRAC. And I said, well, who's talking about commercially viable? BRACers are Caymanians too. And they deserve to be part of the conversations that we're constantly having here. So I don't know, but we're going to do our best to see if CMR Radio can be in Cayman BRAC. KK says, I wish it'd be fair overall and not have favoritism regardless of who vote for who. Well, nobody can tell you who voted for who. I mean, some of you might be, vocal about who you supported. But yes, obviously elected officials are here to represent all of the people, all of the time, not some of the people, some of the time. Understand? Beautiful. Patricia Blake, good morning to you. Island Pearl, how are you? So nice to see you. YouTuber 345, buenos dias, good morning. Yeah, we are here for it. Now, I do have a video that we're going to be playing as part of today's discussion. And I want to do a big shout out to Al Ebanks, the artist, and Caymanian there, right in Georgetown, because let me just pull up this, let me grab his video. This video is courtesy of him. Now, I did message him, and I didn't see a response from him, but I know Al won't mind us utilizing his video. He actually did a beautiful video that I think is going to be, I think you guys are really going to enjoy it this morning. So I'm going to pull that up here in just a second. Thank you, Al, for all of the amazing work you do. I mean, he's an artist, he's a photographer, and we do have some really nice photos as well, courtesy of Al Ebanks. So Al, thank you, sir. Absolutely love your images and photos. So let me just see here now. Just grabbing a few of these images. I mean, I must tell you, it looks beautiful. I've not been to this location yet, but we're going to talk about it here in just a second. All right, so let me just see. Okay. All righty. Nice. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, I'm going to just pull this out. Give me 1 second here. I think many of you know that Al dabbles in photography as one of his artistic expressions and mediums as well. So it's so nice to see that he captures a lot of Cayman life beautifully, I must add. So thank you, Al. All right, give me 1 quick second, and I'm just going to download this video, and then I think we are going to be ready to rock and roll, as they say. Rock and roll. Not walk and roll, rock and roll. Okie dokie. Let me just see here. All right, let's do it. So put your virtual hands together, folks, all 200 plus of you this morning. We are here to welcome the Honorable Jay Ebanks into the studio again. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, Sandy. Happy to be here. Good morning to all your listeners. Good morning to everyone. Grand Cayman, Little Cayman, Cayman BRAC. Happy to be here today to talk about the opening of the new Scranton Park.
Yeah, this is exciting. The park has been under construction for quite some time. And I'll be honest with you, some of us really doubted even the necessity for this park, but it is beautiful. And I think you guys have done an amazing job. We really hope now that the people in the community will respect the park and take care of it. But let's talk a little bit about the history of this space and why, I know that obviously MP Kenneth was instrumental in pushing for this, as well as other members of the community. I think one of the Ramoon brothers was also key to kind of pushing for this park. But tell us why open green spaces like this are important, and what your thoughts are now that you've seen the final park.
Sandy, what I will tell you, yesterday, all of the full ministry, all of the team had the first tour to walk
Mm-hmm.
through the park, and I can tell you, everyone would say, just wow. Individuals
Mm-hmm.
saying this is a park that we need to try to replicate in other locations because it is designed for all ages, for kids, seniors, and they're able to be able to just stop and be a part of that wellness and have the opportunity to interact with wildlife,
Mm-hmm.
being something different. It is, and I'm hoping that we have a large crowd of individuals that will come out, not just from Georgetown,
Mm-hmm.
around the island to come and look at this park because it is something that I think the people of Georgetown should be very proud of.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, that's a beautiful video that you have there with it, and I think and people of the Cayman Islands should be very proud of this. And I can see a lot of civil servants utilizing this park for their lunch hours, just coming in, just getting away for that 1 hour, just to have a relaxed time or enjoying sitting out there on their laptop, wanting to
Mm-hmm.
just be a part of nature and do the work at the same time. The sculpture that you're showing now is amazing. I mean, Mr. Al is a more than an artist. He's a creative, um, words you cannot even find, and the visual, seeing it and watching it. I had the opportunity to actually see some clips of that
Mm-hmm.
sculpture when it was from the first design to the finished design of it now, and it's definitely something that I could not do from inside of my mind and put it together like that. So I take
Mm-hmm.
my hats off for him. He's very creative, and his mind is, and just to listen to him and then to the visual part of it and seeing it come together in the life, it's amazing. The green space at the park is absolutely wonderful. And this Sunday when we first got in there, the group from Central Georgetown with Mr. Ramon, Miss Lucille Seymour, um, kind of gave us the history of how long this park has been talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And just recently I was chatting with Miss Lucille about the park, and she went into even a deeper time telling me how much further this park, and I'm happy to even say that even she gave me parts of this where my grandfather actually talked about this park and trying to do something with the park from way back in the 90s. And now to see we're here now and we're finally getting a central park, um, in the center of Georgetown that I think is going to be amazing, for the people of Scranton, for the people that are in just in central Georgetown, but getting the younger kids involved,
Mm-hmm.
because this is one thing about this park that's totally different is you don't have too many park areas where the seniors and the younger ones can have something to do at a
Mm-hmm.
park. And this has that atmosphere where it has the pickleball court, it has the basketball court, it has the five-a-side soccer court on there.
Mm-hmm.
It has so much to offer, and then you have the calisthenic side of it, where individuals can sit and have exercise. Then you have the senior areas where seniors can come and gather and have an area where they could play. And one of the biggest things I said it yesterday on the show that bingo seems like to be the biggest thing for seniors.
Oh.
Right? So I mean, the seniors have
Okay.
an opportunity to go somewhere and be very comfortable to play bingo or whatever other type of games. For me, it's
Mm-hmm.
dominoes, but for them, it's bingo. But I mean, it is amazing. The lake view is something that is very beautiful. You see a lot of the Hecates that are in there. They're
Mm.
all, I mean, they're coming right up to, they're already getting used to individuals coming up. So they're looking for someone to just throw some food out for them. So I mean, right away they see someone standing up there. They're coming.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kenneth Bryan said that he counted something like maybe over like 50 something turtles so far
Oh, wow.
in there. So
Okay.
it's amazing the wildlife that's in it. It's so hard to it's very hard to explain this park to everyone. How come? Because when you come there, it is so amazing. It is so beautiful. It is so peaceful and quiet. And that's the one thing that you don't find in Georgetown, right? Is that when you tell someone that the park is very quiet, they're like, "Oh, Central Georgetown." Well, usually you're hearing cars, you're hearing everything else happening around there. But I don't know if it's because of how the buildings are, but the park is very peaceful and very quiet. And I'm hoping on August the 1st that everyone will come out and be a part of this opening and get to see, you know, the finishes that are here in this park and how nice it looks. It is, and then not only that, but it's certain areas of the park is named after certain individuals that have
Mm.
been, part of the vision of this park for so long over time. So it is something beautiful, really, really beautiful, Sandy. And I'm hoping to see you out there, and hoping to see a lot of Caymanians out there.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone, we are going to be doing a shuttle service also. So we'll be putting out the shuttle dates and then and times where the pickup points for those, because when we're on the radio, we did have individuals ask for there's going to be a bus running where they could come. We're going to allow people to be able to park in the government building parking lot
Mm-hmm.
and over at the God, what's in the building right next door? Their parking lot's going to be open also.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have sufficient amount of parking space for everyone
Yes.
to be able to park around there.
So, folks, if you're just joining us this morning, we're speaking with the Honorable J. E. Banks, who's Minister of Planning, Lands, Agriculture, Housing, Infrastructure. And the grand opening ceremony is happening this weekend, Saturday, August the 1st, for the Central Scranton Park. And they've got an evening of events. It's happening in the afternoon. So, we're going to go through some of the details here. It's a park that is a place for community. It's a welcoming space for recreation, wellness, connection, and community for generations to come. Now, if you're interested in coming out, unfortunately, Minister, I will not be on island, so I'm going to miss this, but I'm going to send one of our representatives to make sure that he captures some nice video footage and stuff for us. But it is this Saturday from 3 until 5 p.m. And some people have no clue where the park is. I mean, it's shocking that this space has been turned into this and we still don't know where it is. But on Saturday, because there are going to be so many people there will be parking available from One Capitol Place, the government administration building, and the Flowers parking lot off of Martin Drive. And then, as the minister said, they will be shuttling people in to try to have some semblance of traffic control. So I'm sure the police will be out there assisting with that. But generally speaking, Minister, outside of this event, if someone just wanted to visit the park, how do they gain access to it?
Well, right now, if someone wants to visit the park will be open for visitors all the time. So if someone just wants to come in there to exercise, there's a beautiful walk path around the whole entire park. It's open for that. If someone wants to book the park for events, they would have to go on to facilities website and be able to do all the booking on that site. Um, One thing is that the park was always designed to be able to make sure that the seniors have the preference and the booking of this facility, and to be able to make sure that their events, because when it was always envisioned, it was envisioned for I thought I want to go back and say that I think the first vision of the park was never to be exactly what it is today,
Mm-hmm.
and then they looked at it a lot more bigger in a larger scale, and a lot of the seniors don't have locations where they can gather and do, as we talked about, playing bingo and other stuff that they do together. So they will have the first preference of booking the halls and having opportunities like that. But if someone wants to book the park for weddings, anything else, it'll be all on facilities website, just like how you'd go and you would book one of the civic centers now.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be on that same website where you can do all of that.
Okay. Yeah, I think people just don't even know how to get there. They're like, this is in Georgetown. Yes, folks.
Yes. Well, there are, and in the future, there's going to be some road changes that are going to be happening, and so hopefully, it'll definitely open up some of the roads that will go right alongside the park to actually make the to get to the park a lot more easier, and it'll be a lot more open so individuals will be able to see the park with just traffic
Mhm,
passing by a little bit differently. But
mhm,
yeah, for right now, you have to enter from on the Scranton side, or you come through the road that's right next to Berkman's Plaza to get there.
mhm. Beautiful. All right. So, what can you expect on Saturday, folks? There's going to be the official ribbon cutting ceremony. Of course, you can expect probably most of the government that's on island to come out and support. There's going to be live entertainment. I can only imagine the steel pans and other drums, local entertainment being played in this beautiful open space. It's a family friendly activities also. So, bring the kids. This is for them to enjoy. And there will also be refreshments and treats at the location as well. So again,
Absolutely, Sandy. The
yes.
food will be cooked by the people from the neighborhood in there, so you're going to get some great Georgetown cooking. And
Hmm.
Mr. Lammy Seymour will be playing music on site down there. It is going to be a awesome, amazing ribbon cutting, family fun Oriental day. I can tell you, got to be there.
Hmm. Hmm. All right. So yes, come on out, folks. This is for the community. Island Pearl says that you can enter from Martin Drive or Tigris
Tigris.
Street, um, straight down. Can't miss it. All right. So two ways to get to the park. Now, this park is adjacent to the government admin building because in this photo here, let me just see if I can pull this in.
That's correct.
I see the government building. Oops. There we go. I see the government building right there in the background.
That's correct. There is a back gate that connects to the government building, and
Oh.
that was designed for all of our government individuals, officials, anyone that's in the government building, civil servants that want to be able to just, you know, able to get out of the building for and have somewhere to just go and enjoy the environment and sit. As
Mhm.
I mentioned before, just want to go out there, sit on their laptop, and just be a part of nature. Great
Mm.
opportunity. Come out and sit and have their lunch. That was why definitely I remember Brian at the time was advocating heavily for that. That we always had a connection to the building where civil servants could move from and enjoy the park themselves. But not
Mhm.
only that, I'm pretty sure that there's opportunities when civil service is having events, gatherings, or we need space to workshop spaces that it's just a walk right over there to be able to get to it, make it very easy, accessible. I don't know if you can hear me, Sandy, but we seem to have lost your. Okay. Sandy?
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry,
Okay,
Minister. I
there
was
you go.
talking away. I was
Yeah,
talking away.
I didn't hear a word you said.
My apologies. I was just saying that this is obviously a well organized event and everyone is welcome to come out, the family, and it looks like you've got lots of things that are happening. Who else can we expect to be there? We know that MP, you know, Brian will definitely be there, but a lot of the other government officials are still off island. Can you say at this point who else might be attending?
All government officials have been invited,
Okay.
and past and present, and we're also, yes, MP Brian will be absolutely there. We know, and he will be part of the opening, and I'll be doing the keynote remarks. Miss Lucille Seymour will be there. Mr. Dale Ramon,
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Ramon, and there's a slew of the Miles family, the Burke family, Mac Fields, Georgina Rankin. There's several of individuals will be there, and so far, I think pretty much everyone has confirmed that's on island. Will end up showing up there. So, if you want that's the opportunity to be able to see some of the elected officials, come down Saturday because pretty much everyone will be in one spot at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So you can take that opportunity to just say hello to some of the elected officials or ask them the question you've always been wanting to ask them that you could not find them or ask them. So definitely come
Mhm.
down for that.
Wonderful. All right, a few questions here for you. Anthony says, Sandy, good morning. So let me ask the hard questions. Who is going to cut the ribbon? The leader of the opposition, Mr. Bryan, or the Minister of Works? Well, they may be cutting it together.
I think
But
we can share the cutting of that. Absolutely.
yes, all right. It's a big scissors there, Anthony. So not to worry. Abby says it's a lovely space, but no parking. The woe of Georgetown. So again, for the average person who wants to go there and visit outside of Saturday's event, where would they normally park to get access to it?
Sandy, it does have a small amount of parking right now.
Okay.
But again, we do know that Georgetown is very tight when it comes to parking. What I can say is that this is something that we're looking into holistically for all of Georgetown,
Hmm.
and I've it's something I've tasked Mr. Collin within my ministry to look at, and we've been looking at different designs and how we can
Hmm.
try to enhance parking spaces in Georgetown, and hopefully we'll be
Yes.
able to present something to the government in the future here to be able to
Hmm.
fix the parking solution to Georgetown.
Yes.
Not only adding the parking solution, but also trying to work where we bring in the bus depot and dispatch center and everything into one. So and do a kind of a park and ride for Georgetown, whereas individuals can
Mhm.
be able to park and we have a shuttle service that can move people around in certain locations in town. But also, something we're looking at too is adding park meters throughout Georgetown also
Hmm. Okay.
in the
He,
future.
yes. Peter says he's got a hard question. How much did it cost? Do we have any idea of the final cost?
Sandy, what I can tell you is we're just wrapping up the final cost of everything right now. What
Hmm.
I don't want is to put a number out there and then next week I'm putting another
Hmm.
number out there. So I would put the official number out. Everything will be transparent. So everyone
Hmm.
will know the official cost of the park very shortly. Matter of
All
fact,
right.
if they show up August the 1st, we will announce the official cost of the park there.
You should have the cost at that time.
Yes, ma'am.
Peter says knock down the old glass house and build a multi-story car park. Any immediate plans to do anything with that building?
Right now, we are having discussions with the government on that particular building, whether we're looking at a renovation to it, or do we do exactly what he mentioned about knocking it down and cleaning it up. Um,
Hmm.
we are trying to look at trying to run some numbers on what it would cost to renovate. We have two different renderings of the glass house that we've looked at. We're just waiting on some costings and to see whether it's actually feasible to go out and to renovate the building and bring it back. I know a lot of people have a sentimental value attached in some way to the building. As you, especially from the seniors, you would hear from them a lot when they're coming to Georgetown to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
It was always that they're going to the glass house,
Mm.
glass house. So, and from what I understand, I think it was the first glass house in the Caribbean. Also, I've been told.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I could understand the history behind it, and people wanting, and a lot of individuals always say that we don't preserve our history and our culture, and we need to look at how we continue to try to preserve that. So we are working on prices to see what's the best way to go move forward with that. And hopefully within shortly, I would say within this year, we should be able to give an answer on the direction we're going to take with the glass house.
Mm-hmm. All right, wonderful. Someone said the old police station might be up for grabs in terms of parking as well. So maybe some things to consider there. And Maria says, please make it clear that this is Mr. Kenneth Bryan's vision and his manifesting.
Absolutely, absolutely. It has always been a vision for Mr. Bryan. As I said, when we first walked in together, it was meeting with the Scranton Park team at that time. At that time, the park was under me, and I was meeting with them and trying to plan this park out. I thought it was just fitting for the member at the time, being from Central Scranton, to for him to take over the park and meet with his individuals and to build the vision out. And I can tell you, when we first looked at it, I've worked very closely with him from the get go on it, and seeing the design on paper and seeing it in vision out there is something totally, it is totally different. It is a beautiful park. I think it's something that a lot of Caymanians will be proud of.
Mm-hmm.
And once we start to see the envision for Georgetown and how we can make it being part of and getting connected together, it is something that it'll start. You'll start to see the pieces start to make the
Mm-hmm.
puzzle that we're looking at for Central Georgetown, but also bringing the parking space together, bringing the bus depot together in the locations, and looking at the renovations to the glass house or what we're going to do with the glass house.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we do know the police station has been condemned there, and that needs to be knocked down and cleaned up, and a whole entire vision for that street down there, what it looks like.
Mm-hmm. Tony says, any new discussions on a new government administration building? You mean another one? Because certainly we're not knocking down the new one already, but
No,
perhaps.
we're not knocking down the new one, Sandy, but yes, we have had discussions on a new admin building. We're looking at right now, we're looking at all the square footage that we rent around the island and figuring out what that cost is to us and what the size of a new admin building would be looking like.
Mm-hmm.
Going to be we do have a steer on a direction is whether we buy another building or do we
Mm-hmm.
and we build another building.
All right, wonderful. Now, of course, I see here Island Pearl says what you guys need to do is buy the One Capital building. Now, we have a bit of a breaking news on this. I hadn't yet posted this, but quite ironically, remember some months ago, folks, I think it was CNS that said we were buying it. And I told you guys, hold on a second, CMR is going to get the news straight for you. We weren't buying it, but the government was making preliminary inquiries into potentially purchasing it. And what I can now tell you, and I'm sure the minister here can confirm, is that is no longer on the table. So that's
Absolutely.
gone. Yeah.
Gone.
So no One Capital One for Cayman.
No.
Lost that one.
Because it would have been perfectly in the right location, right between the park, right between the government building, and making that another admin building. It would have been it was just perfect in the right location, but um, things happen for the right reason sometimes, and we leave it all up to the Lord. So if it was meant for us, it would have been for us.
Okay. So thank you, Island Pearl, for that suggestion, but just wanted to give you an update there. Mr. Amelia says, good morning, honey chow. Good morning to Magdalene. She says, take government business out of town to encourage industry going east. Mr. Media says, do we need a new government administration building?
Absolutely, we do.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The admin building here is at max capacity. We're all, and as it does continue to grow, we're always finding locations to put individuals from in this building outside now. Right now, we do, without any doubt,
Mhm.
need another admin building.
And then she's asking, why isn't the old glass house taken down? Well, he spoke to that already, that they will be looking at options, whether it can be repaired in any way. But I think wasn't it condemned as a sick building, Minister? So there are concerns about asbestos and other stuff.
There,
So,
there was concerns about that,
mhm,
but we're having individuals look at it, and we think it can be cleaned up and look and see, make sure that the structure of it, if it's sound,
mhm,
once we get that report back, then we'll be able to make a determination on the direction and where we go with it.
mhm, okay. All right. So I know you were just coming on, Minister, to discuss this specific project. Of course, we miss you for your Ministry Matters segment, and we know that you've been busy, but hopefully, you can join us again soon for general Ministry Matters segment so we can catch up on, all that's going on. Now, I cannot let you go without asking you one question. So in the news this week, we have a news story that is trending about the chicken coop being
How did I know you were going to ask me that question?
being category 3 proof. What is this all about? I mean, it sounds like nonsense that a chicken coop has such strict restrictions, and yet we have people in questionable housing. As you know, we get complaints all the time that people are just throwing up structures and jerry rigging stuff, and that's certainly not safe. So what's the lowdown on the chicken coop?
It is absolutely nonsense about a chicken coop being at a category 3. But what I can say is we are working ourselves through that. And what we have come up with is we have created a design for a chicken coop where it can be expanded on. So the first phase, and it's going to be the first phase of a design will be able to hold up to 200 to 300 chickens, and then if
Mhm,
you can expand it on and move and to go up to like get it to almost like 3,000 chickens. But and what we're doing is anyone that goes through the Nest program will be able to, and any individual that needs a copy of this design that we've already paid architects for to be able to build this for us, we're happily to share it. You can get it from the agriculture department. It's going to be pre-approved by planning department, so you don't have to take it and go to planning. It's something that we're already work with through. It's I think one of the main things that people are careful about is that when they're doing it, building a
mhm,
chicken coop or a fowl coop or whatever they want to call it, it's just making sure that it's built structurally in a way that fits within the neighborhood, within the areas. And it's not
mhm,
something that just looks up like it's, you stapled some wire onto a tree and onto this and using rope to hang it up. It's doing it properly.
mhm,
That's the main thing. And having it looks like, it fits into an area. And the sanity and everything is kept in a way where people that are in the industry of chickens and fowls and raising of for eggs or within our nest program,
mhm,
quality and the standards are all kept at a standard that we, the government, want to be able to keep individuals at. But absolutely, we will be able to work through this. I think it was just a matter that was in the courts. The courts coming out and saying and they saying this, but in the background, we were already preparing and having this design and moving forward because one of the things when we started the Nest program that we wanted to make sure our egg production was moving in the right way is we wanted to make sure that we were keeping up with the quality um,
mhm,
and making sure that um, when individuals are selling to grocery stores that
mhm,
we knew that they went through all of the checks and balances. They've been certified. They know how to handle their chickens. They've been what the diet that they've been feeding their chickens.
mhm,
We've I say it every time. we invested and probably found one of the best poultry individuals from around the world come here to the Cayman Islands,
Mm-hmm.
enhance our poultry section uh, when it comes to the chickens, and whether it was for those that was growing birds for eggs or for our meat birds. And
Mm-hmm.
that individual, he was from Romania when he first came in here, and I can tell you the first time he was here, he was very emotional because he came from an industry and from where the one client was doing a lot was probably 10 times the size of what we actually do here in total in the whole island, actually
Mm-hmm.
implemented the island. And he's helped individuals, although he's actually moved on, went back to home. We have another individual here that's helping out now. And the farmers are happy. We've changed their type of feeding that they were giving their chickens. And we've invested heavily with the farmers to make sure we've have grants to come out to be able to help those that actually go through the program,
Mm-hmm.
get certified, where we're helping them come out. So you get a copy of the design for the drawings that we have. We come out, we invest with you to be able to help build the chicken coops for you. So there's a lot that you can get out of this, and we can make sure we're not. This is
Mm-hmm.
just I would say, a little storm in the teacup, if I can borrow Rolston,
Mm-hmm.
Minister of Finance's words all the time. But again, at the end of the day, we'll get through it. But we just want to. I think the main focus is that wherever we're building this, it's not going to be any harm to the neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be kept in quality, and because
Yeah.
that's the one thing that people fear is
Yeah.
that someone puts something
And
in their backyard and it becomes a stench to them. It's bothering your neighbor. But if we do it properly, it won't
yes.
hinder anyone, and
Yeah.
it'll look like it's meant to fit into the neighborhood.
And I'm just going to pause you one quick moment there, Minister, because we do have a breaking announcement to make here this morning. Folks, if you are heading into town, please avoid South Sound Road. There's quite a serious accident
Wow.
there. Yes, with a vehicle actually overturned. Looks like two vehicles collided, and one vehicle is actually on its side. And so, if you can avoid the South Sound area, this happened just this morning in the vicinity of San Sebastian. So please avoid that area. You know, yeah. Wow. Folks, you gotta slow down and you gotta take it easy on our roadways. So we're gonna be posting that here just a minute on social media, again to alert our listeners. But we wanted to make sure the radio listeners are tuned in on 103 Boba 103.1. You've now been advised to please avoid South Sound if you can, and of course, all of our social media folks. We've got over 400 people on the live stream this morning between our social media channels. We're not on TikTok this morning. We had quite an active day on TikTok yesterday, but we're still trying to figure out the logistics of streaming from TikTok because it's not really the easiest thing to do. So I think, the takeaway from this chicken coop fiasco is that, and let's be clear, Minister, a lot of people are like, this is ridiculous, this is a joke, but the health and, fitness, if I can use that term, of our poultry is really, really important. We've seen outbreaks of the avian bird flu and stuff already. Yeah, so don't take this. I mean, it's not an entire joke to say that there must be standards
There
in
has to be
place.
standards to it, absolutely. And as I mentioned first, that's the checks and the balances is what we want to make sure. We want to make
Yeah.
sure that whatever we're providing to our supermarkets or to our individuals to eat, that the quality and the standards are always kept there. And it's as I said, it may have been taken out of context there within the court systems and how they spoke about it with about
Mhm.
being up a category 3. Um, but again, the designs that we've had will actually, I
Mhm.
think I would say pretty much eliminate what the Riddick was from the courts. And
Mhm.
as I said, they didn't know that we are working on this before time. So we would have this already pre-approved through planning and be able to work and carve in. We'll look into whether if it's something in the law that we need to carve out directly for agriculture and to how we look at chicken coops, and we'll have to
Mm-hmm.
look at how we do that within the planning law, if that is
Right.
needed. But I can tell you, there's no support from me as the Minister of Agriculture telling
Mm-hmm.
anyone that they have to build something of that nature to a category 3. Um, what we do is we do want to make sure it is built with quality and the standards, but I think pushing it to a category 3 is a little nonsense there.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful.
I,
All
I
right.
just don't see why.
Thank you so much. A few more comments and then we're going to let the minister go. This person says the glass house represents a transitional period in Cayman's history. The building is an architectural statement in Cayman's development from a sleepy fishing village to the financial center we currently are. It's a part of Cayman's history and should be protected. Other countries have buildings for hundreds of years. Meanwhile, we have very few buildings older than 1960. Everywhere else in the world, people mediate asbestos. Why is Cayman any different? Now, Real Deal has a different opinion. Real Deal says the glass house doesn't hold any real historical or cultural value. The land and its potential use holds more value for society. Maintaining a building full of asbestos is nonsensical. Ray John, good morning to you. Says such a beautiful environment, but what about those crackheads that are always hanging out in that location? So, might not be a politically correct question, but nonetheless, I think Ray John has a valid question. How do we ensure that this park does not become another area for druggies to be hanging out,
Well,
Minister?
Sandy, what I can say is that being that the park is so connected to the um, government building and being under the management of facilities, and the facilities is the manager of this government building, and their office actually being in the government building, and
Mm-hmm.
we having securities into the parking lot here now, and having access from the parking lot to this, it is something that we will definitely have keep an eye on and be able to have security officers in the area to be able to make sure that none of this is actually happening, and just make sure it is a secure environment. Um, I don't see a problem having security in the area because we do have security in the parking lot, and it's like right next door. So it's, and being part of, as I said, it's almost part of this government hub now. So it should not be a problem, and we hopefully we individuals will respect the park for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we may have to take a stern hand going forward until individuals get to understand that. But I'm hoping we will have cameras installed at the park, which we've just we're talking to 911 right now too, and looking at locations and how that is going to be up there. So we'll have the park will be fully camered and watching everything that's happening over there. Not
Mm-hmm.
only that, but it can be also connected back to the facilities here where the security that monitors the cameras at the building here will be able to monitor everything that's happening over there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I think it's a real concern. So thank you.
It is.
Yeah, thank you, Ray John, for bringing that up. Real Deal says build a new government building in the Eastern District. Stop concentrating traffic in town. Good morning to Miss Emma. Miss Jennifer Smith joining us says good morning. I was just wondering if you'd be able to inquire about the government, when the government will be issuing the stipend for the bus wardens and bus drivers. I would really appreciate it if you could let me know if you receive any updates on this. Thank you so much and have a good day. So is this their summer stipend that they
There's
get?
summer sniping. Miss Sandy, what I can say is I asked the question late yesterday afternoon when someone posed that question to me by WhatsApp. I'll be able to give you an answer shortly on that. And I
Mm-hmm.
did pass the question on to the acting minister, which would be Miss Heather Bodden right now. So she's
Mm-hmm.
checking on that as we speak.
Okay. Miss Amelia has an opinion on the park. She says, I think for the amount of money spent on the central Scranton Park, it shouldn't have it looking so simple. I was expecting something spectacular. Like what? I'm not sure what you mean by spectacular, Miss Romelia, but she goes on to say the landscaping alone isn't worth what was spent.
Mm,
I'm assuming you've never had to pay for landscaping, Miss
that's
Romelia.
landscaping is one of
So,
the most expensive things right now, I can
oh,
tell you.
trust me. Wow, it's crazy. Minister, we're trying to give back to the community, right? So CMR is attempting to sponsor one of the roundabouts in town in GSM Peace to just cover that in turf, something which I thought would be so simple. When I saw the price tag, I fell out of my chair.
You're
I'm like,
talking about 30,000 for turf.
That's right. You're spot on. It was actually a little bit more than that, but I was just like, what? For a little bit of turf? Are you kidding me? It is wild. And so again, Mr. Amelia, I don't know if you've had to do any paid for landscaping. This is not the same thing as doing your own yard work, but let me just say that you would be surprised at what these things cost. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know what her idea of spectacular means. I mean, everybody might have a different design idea in their head, but I think sometimes simple is beautiful. And from what I've seen, I've not actually been to the park yet in person since it's been completed, but I do think that sometimes simple is exactly what you need. It's a good green open space, lots of space for people to walk and run around and that sort of thing. And so I don't know exactly what you were looking for.
I think the landscaping is wonderful. I mean, it is at the very early stage, so it needs to be filled in a little bit. But I mean, I think if we give Mother Nature's opportunity, you will see the beauty of it. It's looking great.
All right.
I just trying to keep up with some of your questions that I see coming in there. Someone
Yes,
asked about
there's
the
quite a
East-West.
few.
Someone asked about bus fares.
I know, I'm trying to keep up with them myself. So let me just see here. I think it was, who asked about the East-West arterial? I did see it somewhere as well. Real Deal, was that you? Yes. So Real Deal says, I always ask you this when the minister Ebanks is on and you never ask him. Update on the EWA, please.
So, Sandy, what I'm happy to say is 3 weeks ago, we met with the NCC and the NRA and the Ministry for Environment. We all got together in one room. We agreed on the direction of the East-West. So we had gotten the green light to be able to go from Newlands to the Bigger Bay Pond and Peace Bay. So just before you reach Midland Acres is the phase one approach of that. And then while we're looking at the phase two is from the Midland to Frank Sound, we're still determining the directions on that in there. But everyone has agreed now that we can start this. So Edward Howard at the NRA is looking forward to start to move in to get the next phase of East-West going in September. So we've had the green light. We're just waiting on the final design of that now to be able to carry that to cabinet very shortly. And once we have that, we are ready to go to do phase one of the East-West, which will get us to Midland Acres. And that's going to probably take at least a year and a half to build out, or maybe close to 2 years to build out. But again, while the building of that is going on, we'll finalize the second phase.
Okay.
Great news.
Progress, for sure.
It is great progress. And I, while I have the opportunity, Sandy, I just want to, I thank everyone on the NCC board, the Ministry of Environment, the NRA team. And I find that probably some of the best ways for us to get things done and is for us always to just get together in one room and we work together and we're able to come up with the solutions. We're able to argue with each other until we get to that place where we want to be. But again, I think going forward, there's always been this synergy and people talking that planning and environment doesn't like each other, NRA and environment doesn't like each other, agriculture and environment doesn't like each other. And what we're trying to do as two ministers, Minister Kathy and myself, are working very closely together to make sure that we're breaking down the doors. Because when people ask the question, is like, why is the environment and the Minister of Planning fighting? It's not the ministers. We
Mm-hmm.
make it. We're making it okay. Not us. What we're doing. It's everything else that's happening behind the scenes. So what we find now is it's a lot easier. We all get together and we just work together to try to get to the goal points of where we need to get to. And I found it has
Mm-hmm.
been working fabulous for us. We've got they've given us the green light to start Olympic Way, which is to skirt around the Ironwood Forest
Mm-hmm.
with the boundaries there. Cabinet just gave the full approval for that. We're moving in. We're working with the National Trust. We're working with the environment. We're going in manually first to see if there's any and tagging all the trees that we can save. I'm going to be able to be moving them to different locations. And we're all agreed. And I must say that even when we're in the rooms, when we're talking about the East West, the NCC, members of the NCC agreed. The members of the National Trust was in their meeting. They agreed on it. And the members from the minister from the environment were all in agreement moving forward. And I just think it makes a very happy synergy of how do we work
Mm-hmm.
together. And it shows that we take personalities out of this and we come together, how quickly we can come up with decisions to be able to move forward when it comes to infrastructure and do it in a more very friendly environmental way.
Mm-hmm. All right, beautiful. We have Miss Ramelia saying she could have done better with less. And to that, someone says here
What
that
I, what I would say what to that is that usually anyone can do better. It all depends on your vision.
someone says, good morning. No one's trying to take KB shine, rolling eye emoji. That comment is one valid reason why Mr. Amelia needs to stay out of politics, love to complain and be negative. Marshall says, no matter what you do in terms of beautifying parks and parks renovation,
Vision.
people are always going to find faults in everything. Miss Ramelia says, Miss Omiria says, Ramelia need to go and sit down. All right, folks, it's not Friday after hours. Y'all need to behave. I'm going to just squash this argument right here now. The argument is done. Okay,
We
y'all
passed the
behave.
landscaping side. It's already in. Come out and
y'all,
look at it, and I guarantee on August the 1st, Mr. Amelia, if you want a full tour, I'm happy to give you
Lord
a
have
full tour
mercy.
of it myself.
Do we have any idea on what kind of foliage is there? I see a few people asking about mango trees. Somebody else said we need more shading. What do we know about what is actually at the
They,
location?
I wish the member Ryan was here because there's a particular tree that he actually saved that was in his neighborhood. I can't recall what the name of the tree is right now,
Mm-hmm.
but and he had it. He went to the owners, found the owners, and they told him yeah that he could take it. And I tell you, and moving a tree of that size is usually very hard to move it and catch it back. And it's part of the park. It's growing wonderful. It has a lot of shade trees. It doesn't have any mango trees in there. No, it doesn't have any mango trees, but it
Mm-hmm.
has a lot of other shade trees, and I think it's well fitting. We just need to give Mother Nature its time for everything to grow in, and the plants and everything that's there. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
then we need to get You know what? It's Sandy. What I would tell you is they just need to come out first.
Mm-hmm.
Come out and see the park. Hopefully, there's a wishing well there, so they can bring their quarters. They can throw in quarters into the well. Get opportunity. Maybe your wish may come through. Maybe it may not.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I made a joke with my team yesterday that every year we probably got to go look at the well. Our surplus may be in there, help pay back for the park. There's an individual that was with us yesterday said that we should put these little machines in the park where you could put a quarter in there and you can get little turtle feed, so kids can actually put a quarter in there and spend it and get turtle feed out of it and feed the turtles and stuff that are actually in the well in the pond itself.
Mm-hmm.
So there, as people walk the park, some people give you their, oh, we should add this to it and do this to
Mm-hmm.
it. So, it's like any other park. It's going to be moving parts that are going to be added to it in the
Yeah.
future to make it and enhance it.
And
lot
it'll
better.
take some time for some of these things to grow in. One
Yes,
thing I know
absolutely.
about any landscaping in the initial stages,
Absolutely.
it might look a particular way, but
Yes.
once the foliage starts the tree starts to grow in and stuff like that,
Yes.
it
And once
changes it over time. It becomes more mature.
you will see
Um,
the more
yeah.
as Mother Nature continues to grow, everything will start to fit in together. As I said, you got to come out. There's one thing that we're going to be doing in the future is going to be creating a little island in the middle of the pond for the hicketies that are there, so they have a dry
Mm-hmm.
area to come out. Because right now, the only dry area they have is if they crawl out along the edge
Mm-hmm.
of the grass, and we got to be mindful that other reptiles, animals that will be around that would attack them. So, having a location in the center, we've already have the boulders that we need. We just didn't want to take the task to try to do it between now and Saturday. So,
Mm-hmm.
after the park's open, we will have the crane come in and drop the boulders in the middle, creating an island for these
Mm-hmm.
hicketies to be able to get up on.
Beautiful. All right. I do have word that Mr. Bryan is going to jump on in just a minute. And hopefully, Minister, you're okay for time to go a
Absolutely.
few more minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll welcome the Deputy Leader of the Opposition, Mr. Kenneth Bryan, who is the representative for Georgetown Central. Good morning. Good morning, Kenneth. How are you?
I am well. Thank you so much. Good morning, Sandra. Good morning, Minister.
Morning. Good morning.
I do apologize for my tardiness. I had to do some daddy duties this morning. As you guys know, I'm preparing two young ladies in the summer break. One for a beauty pageant, the other one for summer internship. So I couldn't make the timeline because I was dropping them off to the various locations. So I apologize about that. I just want to say thanks to
Mm-hmm.
the minister for covering most of the information in respect to the park. He's doing an
Mm-hmm.
amazing job. So I'm happy to answer any questions. But the first one to answer is the tree is called a kapok tree. That special tree that we got saved and
Yes.
donated by the Smith family.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it's one of the staff members' family that works in Pahi in the ministry of the minister.
I
We didn't
thought
know
so, and I saw the name, but I didn't want to say so, and wasn't sure 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we didn't know that at the time. But the great civil servants that they are, they just donate and don't say anything because they don't do it for credit. But it's if most people in Cayman would know the big, massive, gigantic tree that's right in front of the glass house. Speaking about the glass house, where we
Mm-hmm.
often go there and have ceremonies underneath the tree. That's the same kind of tree. It's probably one of the largest size trees that naturally grow in Cayman, and the
Mm-hmm.
tree can have shade out to 30 feet from its base. So that one of those trees have been planted in the park, and its early ages. It's probably about 7 or 8 years old now, but they go on to over 100 odd years old. So we look forward to that tree offering shade and protection for generations to come. And that was a surprising tree we're talking about. But I'm happy to answer any questions about the park. I heard some questions earlier, so I'm happy to address some of those that the minister hasn't already addressed.
Mm-hmm. So thank you so much, Mr. Bryan, for coming on and discussing that. So yeah, folks, listen, it's going to be an amazing event. Everyone is encouraged to come out on Saturday. It is family friendly. And I think also, it's just an acknowledgement of the hard work that a lot of people, including Mr. Bryan and his committee and his team, have put into bringing this part to fruition. And so here we are now. We know, for example, Al Ebanks, who is from the area, will be featured with his sculpture. There will be live music and other entertainment and activities for the children. So we encourage people to just come out and have a good time. Minister, we know obviously you'll be there. Kenneth, you will be there as well, having a good time at the festivities.
Yes, most definitely. I think there's going to be a large turnout based on the RSVPs that we've been getting. Even past legislators who were major contributors to the development of this park have all agreed to come. Obviously, the public and mainly our seniors, because this park was developed focused around seniors and giving them a venue and a location for them to congregate together, and obviously expanded further than that to green space, mental health and wellness, a calm area for people to relax safely and enjoy, and a youth center and an exercise multipurpose court. So I think I know that people naturally will have some concerns and potential criticisms, and I would just
Mm-hmm.
say give it the chance that it deserves. Come
Mm-hmm.
out, take a look, and if you still feel that way, then I can totally understand. Everybody has that's the right to examine what a government or a minister or a member have done, whether it's adequate enough for the money spent. And I respect
Mm-hmm.
that. But I promise you, most people who have been there since its completion will go, oh, wow, I see the vision now. And even the minister has said this earlier. So just come give it its chance that it deserves. I think that they would be really, really surprised and excited and happy. And I really look forward to a lot of positive initiatives happening there in the future. We've already actually had some nonprofits call to try to reserve the location because it will be under the management of facilities department that you would call for, like if you want to rent the town
Mm-hmm.
hall or any government owned space. And they're already calling about trying to rent it for some positive initiatives. So we look
Mm-hmm.
forward to seeing like the Lions Club, seniors, nonprofits, Alzheimer's Association, whether it's the Basketball Association, Read for Life nonprofit that will bring young people there for extra activities by way of education, those kinds of
Mm-hmm.
things, because the space is made for positive initiatives, and the park will never be alive without people. So I mean, and the good news is that the park will be, particularly the facilities, the buildings, the park itself, the green space is always going to be open to the public, no charge there. um, Never, and you need permission to go there. Once it's open, you're free to go
Mm-hmm.
in. But the buildings itself, quite like the town hall, but unfortunately, you have to pay a small fee for the town hall to cover the maintenance and so forth. For at the very least, the first 2 years, and I'm hoping I'm not stepping on the line by saying this, but because the initiative is about the community, you don't have to be charged. You will not be charged any money at all in respect
Mm-hmm.
to using the space. You just have to meet the criteria upon which the space was created for. So, nonprofit. It's not for profits. It has to be focused on positive initiatives. So you can't book it for something that is not within the criteria of what it's used for. So, particularly when it comes to seniors things, anything to do with seniors, they will get a first priority initiative. So, like the Alzheimer's is one of the first ones that's going to be booking for their upcoming summer event for older persons. They will get priority if, say, for example, another summer program came up. Because it's about the main hall is a senior center that can be used for other things as well. I know the Lions Club was interested in bringing men's health awareness there to educate men and senior men about their health and being proactive about it. So it's a positive space. I
Mm-hmm.
also see like the minister said, because it's so close adjacent to the government building, we designed it in a way where the back of the park has a gate that can be used by the government fob system, because all government employees that work with the administration building has to have a fob pass to get in, and they have access to that secured location at the back where they can get a little relief from within the government building at lunchtime or at break time or mental health break, to just say, let me go sit down by the park. The building is a bit crowded right now. I want to get a little time away. And as most people know, Georgetown Central is known for some of the best food in the country. Obviously, it's close competition with North Side and East End, but I would definitely say one some of the
Yeah.
best.
We'll give it to you since you're in Central Georgetown now.
Yeah, let's just put it this way. Caymanians have some amazing cooks. I actually forgot that somebody was on hold on the line. Oh my gosh, please forgive me this morning. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program. Hello?
Yes, good morning,
Hi.
Sandy. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. I'm so sorry. I put you on hold and then forgot you were there.
That's okay, thank you. Good morning to the Minister, J. Ebanks.
Good morning.
Yes, good
So
morning. Mhm.
I have a couple of questions, but
Okay.
I have one that's quite urgent. First of all, for the Minister, Sustainable Cayman would very much welcome a meeting with the Ministry and the NRA and the DOE to discuss the progress that you're making on the East-West Arterial. We have not been involved in those conversations, but we have submitted quite a lot of feedback from the public on that. So we'd very much appreciate that. On the Scranton Park, we have not actually had an opportunity to look at the development there, but we did put forward a proposal that we would like to do a pocket mangrove park area within the pond, if that was at all feasible, as an educational facility for children. Specifically red mangroves, and an installation like that would bring more wildlife to the park that are associated with water areas. So we wanted to suggest that. But the purpose of my call this morning is actually about the South Sound Road enhancements that are happening. I'm assuming the National Roads Authority are improving the road width. They've cleared the verges and they're widening the road. The problem with that is it's going to increase the speeding that is ongoing in South Sound Road. This week, my son managed to drive his car into a wall because some of the walls in South Sound are extending into the road. And that was a very serious accident. The other thing that has happened as a result of widening road, there has been an enormous crash outside San Sebastian this morning because people speed along South Sound Road. It's not something that people as drivers want to hear, but the residents of South Sound this is a residential community. We have asked for speed abatements continually from the National Roads Authority and to our MP, who I know has put forward that. We really need speed abatements in South Sound. And can the Minister give a commitment to have a look at that, please?
Okay, thank you so much, caller. Minister, I know you were coming on specifically to discuss the park, but I know you're always open to general questions. So
it's funny that you mentioned about planting mangroves around the area, because yesterday when my team took a tour of the park, that was one thing that I mentioned to them. I think that we should have looked at maybe planting a few mangroves around the center part where the walkway goes over and splits the two ponds into two. And I told him, I said, maybe that would actually help also enhance with the clarity of the water there. One thing that the caller also talked about was walls being extended out to the road. What I can say that if there's any walls that are in the road, these are probably walls that were there for years ago. The law was changed about 12 years ago, maybe 14 years ago, by Mr. Miller, that whenever you're building a wall, your boundary markers, your wall has to be 4 feet behind that boundary marker. So any new walls should be at least minimum of 4 feet behind those markers. And the South Sound Road enhancement, yes, there in our area is looking at doing some enhancements to the road. But again, it comes to another thing where there's some people that say the road needs to be widened. There's sections of the road that need to be enhanced, and there's people that are saying the road does not need to be enhanced. It probably just needs to be paved, topped over. NRA is working their best to, I would say, facilitate with everybody to make sure that they're covering everything. Sustainable Cayman question about meeting. We're happy to present to Sustainable Cayman what our foundings are on the road on the east-west and our directions. Yes, they have written in a lot of comments from the very get-go in the start of the east-west. What I can say is the expertise that everyone has always been requesting that we have has been there to design this road. We've gotten some of the best people that are keeping the environment in mind to build this road. The National Trust has been part of the vision of this road from the get-go. And the Department of Environment has been part of this vision for the road. what I will say is that pretty much the leading environmentalist people, individuals that needed to be participated part of this road has always
Mhm.
been here from the get-go. So if it was that Sustainable came on just wants a meeting just to be able to be informed, I'm always happy to inform everybody
Mhm.
when it comes to that. We have no problem with informing them. But I just don't
Mhm.
want her to think that we've getting ready to build a road and we have not thought about how we're going to build this road in the most
Mhm.
sensible and most environmental friendly way. Because we
Mhm.
have spent millions and millions and millions of dollars
Mhm.
on how to build this road the most environmentally friendly way.
Okay. All right, Minister, can we get a commitment from you to come on again soon? Next week, like I said, I will be doing a remote show, but I am available once all the tech bits are working. I am available to host guests. That's the beauty of this platform. No matter where you are in the world, you can join in. So if next week works for you, please check your schedule. If not, certainly the week after, we'd love to have you on to talk about some of the general things like housing. I saw a number of housing questions. I saw questions around obviously the East West as well. So I think we could get some useful updates. But the focus for today, folks, is really around the Central Scranton Park, which again is having the ribbon cutting ceremony this Saturday, August the 1st. All are welcome. All are invited to come out. There'll be plenty of fun and activities. We've got the official ribbon cutting ceremony, live entertainment, family-friendly activities, refreshments and treats, and shuttled parking. So, shuttle transportation, I should say. So you park over by One Capital Place or the government admin building,
Correct.
and there will be buses that will shuttle you to the actual park. So come out from 3 to 5 p.m. in the afternoon. It's slated to be an absolutely
Parking
fantastic.
parking will also be available at the Flowers parking lot on Martin Drive as well.
Yes, thank you so much. We'll take one more call before we wrap up this segment. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program.
Well, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
And this morning I'm not really up to speaking to you, right?
Why?
My favorite guys are on there.
Oh
so I'm
no!
really
Oh
calling to
no!
say-
So you're not calling for me? What?
I'm really just calling to say good morning to both of them.
Okay.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Miss Archer. Good morning.
But I will say sometime later. MP Minister, I got asked you to give it to MP Brian, please. First, MP Brian, I just wanted to say to you a huge, huge congratulations. I know that this was, your dream, your foresight, and everything. I just want to say I'm so happy for you that you got this completed under your reign, and you'll be there tomorrow. I don't know if you'll be the one cutting the ribbon or if you
Not
have to-
tomorrow.
Saturday.
Sorry. I've got tomorrow on my mind because it's my baby's birthday. But anyway,
Oh.
yeah, sorry. But I'm saying I don't know if you're going to be cutting the ribbon or whether you're going to have to cut somebody's fingers. I don't know. I'll leave that between you. But I'm really happy for you, and it's beautiful from what I can see. It looks very beautiful, and I'm so happy that they had our native son, put his mark on it. That would be Ali Bank. He's our native son. For those of you that didn't know, put his mark on it as well. And to those of us, Georgetowners, we know where this is. And regardless of what other people might think about what else is around it, I would say, please be careful. Don't call people homes slums and stuff like that. That is highly offensive. A man's home is his castle. Okay? Let's just leave that right there. And MP Brian, I congratulate you.
Thank you so much.
I'm so happy for you. Okay.
Well,
and Minister, I love you. And, we can't have MP Brian here in our secret. So when you finish with the show, I will be calling you privately. Okay?
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Sorry. MP Brian, you wanted to say something? Go ahead.
Yeah, yes, I just want to say first off, thank you so much for your kind words and the appropriate words, particularly to the sensitivities of my community in Central and the lovely people who work there and live there. Um,
Right.
the park isn't my vision. It's the vision of many great Caymanians from that area. I was just one
Yeah.
of the fortunate persons who helped deliver it. And I want to take this
Right.
opportunity to take the attention off of me, but more so to focus on the minister. Um, I think this is the appropriate time to say thank you, Minister J. You see, what a lot of people don't know is that politics is a crazy sport, if you can call it that. And you've had past experiences where new administrations come in and they'll cut projects from past ministers and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to thank my friend, my former colleague. We're still colleagues in the parliament, but we're on opposite sides now. But so much credit and respect must be given to the honorable minister here today, because when the election was called and sides were decided, we talked about it, and he promised me, he said, Kenneth, I promise you they're not going to kill your park, not under my watch, and I will continue to make sure it's completed. It was almost 80% there, but the finer details need to be finished. And he promised me that he would get it delivered, and he did that. He gave me full reign with his staff, and I know I can be annoying sometimes because I want perfection. And he still said, guys, whatever Kenneth needs, just give it to him, give him the support. And his staff is so amazing for working with me to get this completed. But it's not my park. If you want to give any credit to anybody, give it to the Central Scranton Committee, headed up by the good Caymanian from Central, Dale Ramon, Lucille Seymour, Christine Burke, and the many others, Cheryl Miles, Miss Kukululu, Anthony Ramon, even the person who ran against me. These are key foundation people who had a vision for decades of delivering this. And I was just a transporter to help that vision become life and expand it a little bit further. So, I'm honored to be a part of it. I'm honored that hopefully history will be kind to me about delivering this. I think when people come down, they'll see that. But it's not about me. This park is for everybody. I can't wait to see the life that park come to life with our people being in there. And I just beg you one more time, please come on Saturday at 3 p.m. When you are in the park, the energy is different. I promise you, you'll be surprised. I promise you'll be happy about the investment we made. And this is about our forefathers, our seniors, who gave all their life for us to be in such a wonderful country today. And this is about honoring them and having a space for them to enjoy with other positive initiatives around them. So thank you so much for those comments, Ms. Archer. I want to just say thank you to the minister.
MP, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to discount my minister because he's my minister, okay? I'm getting his papers fixed up for him to change his nationality. So he's going to have dual citizenship very soon. He can tell you offline what that means if he wants. But of course, the credit goes to him, and it says a lot about him and his level of maturity and foresight and respect for those people as well. And that's an area I'm so familiar with. When we lived where the glass house is right now. And coming from school, that was the shortcut that we took. And so there was Mama Jean and Mama Frances, God bless her soul. They were our caretakers. They looked out for us, And I'm so happy that the residents there, Miss Emily, and, just a little bit further east, you have Mr. Dan Stewart and their family, that they've gotten to see something like this. Al has gotten to see something like this, So, of course, all credit as far as following through on it and not, chucking it aside goes to the minister that we have right here. And he has that for his country, not just for one area. So that I can say about him. You don't have to be a North Sider to call him. and get assistance in your area. That doesn't matter to him. As long as it needs to be done, he's there to take care of it. I just have one question, because I do love our Caymanian plant. So I was just wondering if there were any birch trees, mahogany trees, or calabash trees planted on the park, or if there's any space for any anywhere to put in any.
Yeah, well, I'm Minister. If you don't mind, I'll be happy to take that question.
Okay.
Yes, there are birch trees, and matter of fact, we were successful in transporting some very mature ones. There's a massive one that was in the area. We transported into the park and saved it, and it's blooming lovely. We already see parrots inside of it. There's loads of mahogany trees there. And we try to plant as much natural trees of the area in the location. Some people may say, well, why isn't there fruit trees? Now, I'll give the reason for that, because I was adamant about not having fruit trees in the park, because from a park perspective, when fruits bear, they have droppings, and it's a likelihood for rodents to come, and rats and other things, ants and so forth, so chickens and all of those types of things. So in a park that you want to use for that kind of element, it's not a farm, it's a park. So you want to create shaded trees, and the thinking was to have trees that don't do a lot of shedding of leaves, because then your maintenance bill is a lot higher. So we focus on trees that are native, that also create a lot of shade, that also are large enough in their leaves. So for example, there used to be a poinciana tree, but if persons that know a poinciana tree, their leaves are very, very fine and small. And when they shed, they're a disaster to clean up. So though there used to be a poinciana tree there before, when poincianas are blooming, they're the most beautiful tree in the world, but it's a very hard maintenance tree to deal with. So we didn't plant any of those, but we did plant some of the other native trees that we know will create the large shading that we want, because we want to see children have picnics, families have picnics underneath the trees once the trees are more mature, and enjoy the park space. And just going quickly, if I can, back to the previous caller about the waterway. Yes, we are interested in Sustainable Cayman, talking about further advancements of the pond, because actually the minister's idea, and I hope I don't break any news here, but he wants to put fish in the pond. There's loads of hickatids right now.
I was saving that for Saturday, sir.
All right, I won't say anymore. But
wow!
There's some.
we get all the breaking news here, so it's okay.
But there's some further advancements of the waterway, and I'll leave that to the minister to say. But it's not only there's 3 other types of animals that will be attracted, and I'll leave the minister to say that in his remarks. They'll be coming up. But yes, we did as much as we can to fit the criteria of what the park needed to do from a natural perspective. There's stats trees that are planted there as well. Come and take a look for yourself is what I'll say. Saturday, August 1st at 3 p.m. Trust me, you'll be pleased with what you see.
MP, I just want to say, I noticed you didn't say that you have any calabash trees. And
no, ma'am.
Okay. Well, do you have space that you could eventually put them in?
Miss
Yes,
Archer,
ma'am.
it's funny. I actually wrote that down because I think we can fit a calabash tree in there, and I think we should be planting more calabash trees so that people know, our younger Caymanians know what a calabash is. So I think there are a few trees that we can get a plant from, and we will be able to look at putting one of them in there. Yes.
Yeah. If not, I would be happy to donate one.
And that's the reason why I need to come see you for then to pick up the tree then.
I just threw my bait. And the other thing, you can't put fruit trees there because Sandra Goodies will come down there and eat them. So
the poor little agoutis. You know, this past week I actually saw 2 of them that in different areas that got hit by cars. Slow down for the agoutis, folks. I have acquired a real love for agoutis, Minister and Kenneth.
Come and take yours at a yard. You haven't yet, so maybe I should make a formal report this morning to the minister. She needs to come take her a yard.
No, man, leave him alone. Leave him alone. Okay, thank you so much, Miss Brenda.
Thank you. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. We're going to go ahead and wrap up this segment. Again, we will be ending firmly on time today. We've got what do they say? We're catching flights and not feelings. So we do have to make sure we're at that airport on time, because nobody is going to be giving us any special consideration with Cayman Airways. We got to make sure we're there on time. So lots of questions and comments that came in. Let me just do one more from this person, and then we're going to let our guests go. This person says the park is amazing. It's spectacular, state of the art, and a wonderful addition to the community. Wow. They go on to say that the quality of the park itself is impressive, and it provides a space that residents can be proud of. My concern, however, is the condition of the surrounding neighborhood. The contrast between the park and the community around is striking. Many of the homes are in poor condition, and some residents still rely on outdoor toilet facilities. Really? Okay,
That's not factual.
I was going to say that's news to me. It is difficult to see such a significant investment in the park while many of the surrounding homes remain in need of basic improvements. I believe that a more holistic approach to redevelopment would have had an even greater impact. Investing some resources in improving the surrounding homes and infrastructure could have helped ensure that the neighborhood reflected the same level of care and investment as the park itself. During the day, the park is beautiful and inviting. However, walking to or from the park at night may feel uncomfortable for some people because of the condition of the surrounding area. The issue isn't the park, it's the neighborhood that surrounds it. Wow. I encourage anyone evaluating the project to take a walk through the surrounding community and compare it with the park. The difference is immediately noticeable and highlights an opportunity for future community investment. A great park deserves an equally vibrant and well-maintained neighborhood around it.
Well, Sandra, I know you have to wrap up soon, right? I would love to stay on to take a deep dive into that comment, because there's some level of examination needs to be made there, and it will take a lot more than 10 minutes, because I agree that, of course, the surrounding areas, the homeowners and landowners would love some assistance for upgrading and improvements. But unless the public is saying that the government should give away millions of dollars to particularly this neighborhood, which I'm happy if they want to do that, but there's no mechanism upon which you can just give away money, because at that point, everybody's going to say, well, what about my community? So there's, outside of home improvement for safety purposes, for seniors and other factors like weatherproofing, there's not a provision available. So it would have to be a private sector driven initiative, a nonprofit driven initiative. But also, I'll say this: my people in Central deserve this park just as much as anybody else, whether they live in South Sound, West Bay Road, or anywhere else. So I sometimes cringe when I hear people say, for the surrounding areas, the quality of this park. Their children, their seniors deserve a high quality park just as much as everybody else. And I think some people just don't know Central and the people that live in it. If anybody knows, I'll give you one example of a human being, Mr. Spellman MacPhail, one of the loveliest, strongest Caymanian men that is left, that is the epitome of a Caymanian man, and is the sweetest heart that I've ever known, gentle giant. And that's a part of our community. Do people have some negativity in some communities? Of course, you have negativity in all communities. And we will continue to help to improve those things by upgrading and giving opportunities to people so they don't have to have a different type of lifestyle. But that's continuous commitment and involvement and growth. So I will, as their representative, I will continue to work with them, keeping the place safe, keeping the place clean, and give them opportunities. And I can promise you this: that park itself is actually the neighbors. Nobody's going to be able to come into that park. There's an understanding that the park is a safe space, and any neighbor around you will tell you that. They are actually the gatekeepers and the security guards of that park. I'll get a call at 2:00 in the morning from one of the neighbors and say, Kenneth, there's somebody over there that I don't know who that is. And I said, at 2:00 in the morning, and I said, yeah, but our park, we don't know nobody over there. So I can promise you this: there's a level of pride and protection. No matter what else happens anywhere else, they're going to protect it, they're going to keep it. And there's a known factor that the park is a safe space. So even the young lads, so to speak, the young guys, be like, all right, boy, you can't go over there and do that, or they're not drinking in the area, they're not this, because it's known from the time of Miss Frances Ramon. There was always a respect level to say the park is a safe space. Nobody goes over there with any negativity. And that continues to be the culture today. So I promise you, give Central the rightful chance it deserves. Give this park and its investment the rightful chance it deserves. And as this grows and continue, I promise you, 20 years from now, we'll be happy that we made this investment, because land in Georgetown ain't popping up anywhere else. And to secure in our capital district green space like this, I don't think people quite understand the magnitude of this today, which I understand is complicated to the bigger picture. But 20 years from now, we'd be happy that we secure this green space to preserve, to protect. This park is protected. Nothing else can ever be built there. The government can't take this land and build a government building on it. This will be preserved as a memorial location for Central Georgetown people forever in perpetuity. And we hope that we can expand that even further from a green space, mental health focus, as well as seniors and youth positive initiatives to be hosted there. So I believe this is going to be a hub of positivity for everybody. And matter of fact, if you think there are concerns about that area, come in my community and help my people. That's what I'd say to that.
Well said.
Thank you so much. And Miss Magdalene said, my father, the late Louis Ebanks, came from Central, and I'm proud to say that I grew up in Central. Let me just remind our listeners, as a matter of a public announcement, that there is a very serious accident in South Sound by San Sebastian. It is now causing traffic delays and backup into Georgetown, generally speaking. But please, be aware of that. We do have a car that has flipped over on its side. EMT arrived some time ago, and now there's heavy traffic heading to Georgetown from Linford Pearson because people are rerouting. So expect some delays if you're traversing this morning anywhere. Hopefully the police are already there and they can clear it off as quickly as possible. I did get a commentator who shared this about the RCIPS, and I will be sending this to Mr. Kurt Walton because I'm a bit surprised at this. They said that the police officer at the scene, Glenn Williams, claims that there aren't enough resources to let people know that there's an accident. He was so rude, asking if we have no common sense. So I don't know if he's stressed out already for the morning. It is hot out there, but that's certainly no way to talk to people in the area. And of course, we've now had this post up for quite some time, because as soon as we were notified about the accident, we posted it immediately. And I can tell you that no doubt that post has already reached thousands of people. This is why I encourage you folks to please follow our CMR news channel on the WhatsApp app, because we do send out these types of alerts immediately to the community as soon as we get them. And so there's absolutely no reason why we can't get notifications out there quickly. All right, folks. So please continue to drive safely. We do have a caller in the line. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program.
Morning, Auntie Sandy. Morning to Minister Jay and leader of the opposition, Mr. Kenneth.
Deputy leader, sir.
We know what time it is, so come on, let's not play that game.
Johan.
Hold on, I'm asking a question now. So
all right,
all right. What is the total cost of the project in its entirety, and is CIG anticipating purchasing any more surrounding properties? What do you guys envision to be the true cost when all is said and done? Because you've done a beautiful park apparently, but now there must be ambitions to do some other things. So what does that look like potentially for this administration and potentially future administrations? That's my only question.
Okay, thank you.
Guys.
All right, the minister has answered that already, but Minister, I guess if you can repeat your previous answer.
Happy to answer the question. The first part about what the cost of the park is, Sandy, I did make the announcement that we will announce on Saturday what the full cost of the park will be. And the other section about whether the government is looking to buy up any more land in the neighborhood. What I can say is that if there's any land that's coming up in Georgetown that the government can buy, absolutely we should be looking at purchasing more land. And if we can buy more land connecting the Georgetown to the Central Scranton Park, it has my full support.
I want to say thank you so much, Minister, for saying that. And Sandra, if you would allow me to just comment on that, because it's a very some people have used some words that concern me, like the word gentrification, and it's so inappropriate in this sense because people, for malicious reason, will say, you're pushing the people out, and I don't think they understand the natural progression of development as we see it, because what this park actually is preservation, not gentrification. If it wasn't for support from the Honorable Minister and many others in the former administration, to purchase this land, those lands would have been developed into something else. You may recall that at one point, Mr. Frank Schilling had bought 3 parcels in the back of Central and had put forward a planning development to build a high-rise administration or admin staff and residential in that area for high-end persons. And it was by the good work of Miss Christine Burke and her daughter that went to planning meeting and fought against it. As a matter of fact, I think Miss Magdalene as well was one of the proponents to fight against it because the road access wasn't enough. Anyway, ultimately, it was denied. And when I became minister, I went to Mr. Schilling. I said, Mr. Schilling, you're not going to be able to build a big development in Central, not under my watch as a minister. So why don't you just sell that land back to us and we can turn that into a positive space? He understood that, he respected it, and he sold it back to us. And that's how we preserve that area. And if the government doesn't buy it, you can't stop private owners from selling their land. So we've always said, we don't want people to leave, but if you have to, for whatever reason, you want to transition to a new location, your grandparents may have passed on and another administrator of the will say, boy, when we move out, we in Prospect now or in Bordentown or somewhere else, and we don't need the land anymore. We would rather use the money to do something else. If you feel that you have to sell, we don't want you to leave, but families go through these transitions over time. Go to government first, because if you sell it to anybody else, the laws does not stop them from submitting plans to build something else within the rules of the planning. So if you sell the land to a developer, they're going to submit a development for high-rise buildings. It's the capital of the country. And that's why this is so important. It's more than a park. It's a preservation initiative to secure the memory of Georgetown and what it stood for. So that's why when people ask the question, do we plan to buy more land? If you ask me, I'm in opposition. But if I was in government, I'd say, yes, I plan to buy as much land as I possibly can to expand this park. Only if the people want to sell it. We're not going there to say leave or force you to buy it, because the law doesn't allow you to force anybody to sell their land unless it's on the roads. Now, but we want people to know, if you want to sell, we'll give you the same market price as any other developer for your land. But at least you know that when you do sell it, it will be preserved and no high-rise building will be there. And you can always come back with your children, your grandchildren, and the history of what the people of Georgetown stood for will always be there in perpetuity, because this is bigger than just a park. This is about preservation. So hopefully that gives you a synopsis of that delicate topic, because I see people strategically trying to make it seem as if we're trying to buy out Central. What we try to do is preserve it, because all of those parcels that the government bought could have been available to anybody else. And that 3 acres of land could have been another building built right next to the government building. But now today, it's a secured location for any Caymanian and any resident, any work permit holder can all come there and enjoy that free space, mental health, focus on our seniors in a positive way forever. So I want us to focus on that positive angle.
All right, thank you. We do have another caller. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, Sandy.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm great.
Wonderful.
I just want to say this. Congratulations to Kenneth for your insight, foresight, and way forward. And also congratulations to Minister Jay, for the continuation and bringing this project to fruition. I also want to say that I'm not surprised at the incompetence of the police department with that accident on South Sound Road this morning. At 6:42, I passed the police station on Eastern Avenue, and there were 13 police cars parked in the parking lot. No cars are on the road. So it's the incompetence of this police commissioner, which is a Caymanian, and it is a disgrace. Thank you.
All right. Well, I don't know if the police commissioner is aware, because sometimes you're only as strong as your weakest link. But certainly we will pass on those comments to him this morning, as I did the critique of the officer at the scene. Now, I can say that the RCIPS media channel, just not long after I made that statement, they did send out something on the WhatsApp channel finally. So, that's almost an hour after the accident, but better late than never, folks. Again, avoid the South Sound area if you can. So many comments on the show this morning. Got over 400 people tuned in. I feel like we could keep going, but we got a hard stop this morning at 9:30. So I want us to wrap this up. Again, a big shout out to Al Ebanks, who has sent us a number of videos of the park. It looks absolutely beautiful. I encourage you guys to go out this weekend. Look at this one. So gorgeous. Go out on Saturday and please enjoy the official grand opening of the park. I'm sad that I won't be there, but I hope that you guys have an amazing time. And thank you so much again to the minister and Mr. Kenneth Bryan, who is the deputy leader of the opposition, and the one of the pivotal persons behind what we now see as the Central Scranton Park, and he will be there obviously for the ribbon cutting and the ceremony as well. I have made note of your comments about Mr. Johan, and all I can say, folks, is what my Aunt Lottie used to say. I'm going to take something from her this morning. You simply give people enough rope. That's all you do. So it's only a matter of time that I'm probably going to have to deal with that situation again. And this time, I do not want a single person to come begging me for forgiveness, because you can only forgive so many times. Okay? So giving people enough
Sandra,
rope.
if I can quickly.
Yes. Yeah. Is that Kenneth?
Yeah, my comments weren't directed at Johan.
No. This
It's
has
just
nothing to
that
do
I've
with you.
had a few No. Okay, I know, but I think it's important that I say though that because he did call in and my response came after him, it wasn't directly at him.
No.
It's just that I've had many criticisms similar to that about like the word gentrification made me almost cry the other night when somebody said, Kenneth, this park is gentrifying the community. And I don't think the person even understood the difference between preservation and gentrification. Gentrification is when people go into a poor neighborhood, buy it up, and then the people don't have access to the area that they buy out anymore. We bought this place for the people. It's a total opposite. So, and whether or not we plan to buy more, people are saying the people have gone, and I don't know if it's for political reasons or not, but gone around to my community and say, kind of trying to push on her out. And that's the farthest from the truth. So it does annoy me. So I took that opportunity to express those concerns because I know my good people of Central is listening and they know what this was all about. Right. So yeah. I just don't want Johan to think that I was attacking him.
No one is referring to your comment at all. I've had several comments specifically about what Johan said before you even said anything. So just to be very, very clear, there are people who were paying attention and saw the tone and exactly what he said. Okay. All right, folks. Miss Melanie says, if it was...
Sandra, as I go.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just saying, just wrapping up with a few more comments. Melanie says, if it was not for this initiative, the Georgetown Revitalization Plan had very little usable community enhancements. Are there any plans to proceed with the Seafarers Park enhancements by the Tower building? Minister, I don't know if that's in the works.
What I can tell you, Sandra, there's There is some design work looking at that old tower building site right now with some enhancements for the Parliament. And the first glimpse that I had look at it just this week here, I think people will be happy and amazed and to see what Mr. Collin has been working on, along with directly with the speaker, and how we're going to tie and enhance both together. I'm pretty sure that there's nobody else have actually seen the vision of how it's going to look, but I can tell you, you will be happy. And as yes, do we need more green spaces? And absolutely, it is a green space that we need to continue looking at how we're going to enhance that. And I know it, at the end of the day, once it's all presented out, I think the people will be happy to know that the government is going to be looking at moving forward with enhancing that spot also.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much, Minister, for joining us. Mr. Kenneth Bryan, MP and Deputy Leader of the Opposition, thank you so much for joining us as well.
Thank you. Have
Thank
a
you very
wonderful day,
much.
everyone.
All right.
I look forward to seeing everybody at the park opening.
Yes, thank you very much. So hopefully you guys will be able to attend this event. Like I said, we'll have a CMR rep there catching some footage and lots of fun times. Listen, lots of questions came into the show this morning. We will send the minister's team, Minister Plahi, that's planning, lands, agriculture, housing, and infrastructure. So we'll send them all of your comments that they can go through and prepare him for the next time he's on the show by way of what questions are being asked, obviously, by all of you. So please have a safe and wonderful weekend. There will be no show tomorrow. Just let me make it clear because I am traveling. I'm taking tomorrow off. I'm going to sleep in hopefully till 8 o'clock in the morning, maybe 8:30. That'll be great. And then we're going to enjoy the weekend. Gigi's birthday's coming up, double digits as of the 9th. So we are taking her sort of annual vacation trip in the month of August. I'm also an August baby. But you know, once you have kids that have birthdays close enough to yours, you give up the celebrations. But again, please be careful on the roadways today in terms of the accident that is in South Sound that is causing some traffic delays. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful and safe weekend. If all goes well, we will be having a show on Monday and all of next week. That is what we're anticipating. We'll be remotely doing the show. And yes, Anthony, don't worry. All of the questions, we're going to do the entire transcript from today's show. I'm sending it all to the ministerial staff, and so they can go through it themselves and answer those questions on his next visit, which we will certainly let you guys know when that will be. And as usual, this particular minister, I can tell you, garnishes a lot of questions, a lot of views. We still have well over 400 people listening to the stream as we speak. Big shout out to Instagram. I see that they were very engaged today, actively listening and paying attention. And of course, YouTube and Facebook alone carrying 395 persons right now. And then Instagram was like another 28 or so. All right, beautiful folks. Thank you so much. Thank you, Miss Dean. Safe travels. I'm not going to get into the hoopla with the Sakyamata guy, the Sakyamata man. He is going on and on and on and on and on. And you know that sometimes the truth hurts. And he's not willing to accept that he was wrong and simply issue an apology. Instead, he's attacking me now personally, calling me platypus. I mean, obviously, he's not looked in the mirror, but that's fine. Making disparaging remarks about my daughter. Supposedly, she's special needs. She's special, but I thank God that she doesn't have any special needs. She's like any other kid. And, you know, we're going to invest all of our energy and time into her to make sure that she has every opportunity that should be afforded to all Caymanians in this country. We'll be fighting for her rights, as I do for all other children in this beautiful country, all other Caymanian children especially, but all children generally speaking. So, you know what? Attack the messenger. It doesn't matter to me. My skin is thick enough, praise the Lord and hallelujah. As we used to say on the playfield, sticks and stones, honey child, sticks and stones. You ain't breaking nothing around here. The truth stands and the truth prevails. Now he's thinking that he can attack Cayman Airways and he can sue Cayman Airways. You know, go talk to the people who you booked with. Go talk to Expedia and go talk to United. Cayman Airways has nothing to do with you, sir. They don't know anything about you. They don't even know who you are. They certainly do not know anything about the fact that you didn't even use your credit card for this. There were so many red flags as to why American canceled this transaction. And the truth ultimately prevails. And, you know, people try to shut you up when you're speaking the truth and when you stand your ground. And it has occurred to me, I want to thank all of the amazing Jamaicans who have reached out and said, Sandy, I'm a Jamaican. I don't agree with what this guy is doing. I don't stand by him. And the people who are on his little bandwagon in his comment section are simply making Jamaicans look bad. I mean, it's such a shame, right? Because we all have that. We have Caymanians here who sometimes out in the streets doing the most, making Caymanians look bad. So it's unfortunate, but to see how they think about women, how low they will go to take away the attention from the truth. Making accusations about, oh, my husband and some random woman named Shakira. I mean, it's just so stupid. Like, I can't even give it any more energy or life, because when you know something isn't true, you're like, what? Shakira? Okay. Listen, I always tell people, do not put your neck on a chopping block for anybody, no human being. Don't swear for nobody. Sometimes you can't even swear for yourself in terms of what you can do. But what I can tell you is I have always been very, very appreciative, because I know Caribbean men in general, that includes Caymanian men, have a reputation for having multiple women, a wife, and about 5 different side pieces and all kind of foolishness. I have never, ever had any reason to believe that that is the type of person that my husband is. His parents are married for, I lost count how many years. And I think that they set a really good example for him to follow. He's a person who's very much dedicated to his family. He's also a person who demonstrates he has nothing to hide. Not that I need to share this with you guys, but just in case you were curious, because I'm curious about who Shakira is supposed to be myself, right? This is the man who's always given me the password to his phone. Not that I need to be looking, but his WhatsApp is open. I can look at his messages at any point in time. He has installed his very email on my phone, because he's not a person that, if you know him, you wouldn't be WhatsApping him. Because the only person that he consistently responds to on the WhatsApp is me and like 2 of his friends. Everybody else, sorry for you. But if it's not work related, he not too business with you, right? Unless he's calling for Ludi game, and then Ludi takes priority. It's just stupid. You know, I know that I don't have to respond to any of this stuff, because it's all about trying to distract from the real issue here, which is like, you were cursing out our national airline, our Caymanian people, and you got it completely wrong. When we called you out on it, then all of a sudden, you know, yeah, I agree, YouTuber, they should be holding him accountable. But of course, you know, we're not gonna hold our breath for that. But yeah, and you know, the way that they want to attack women and talk about certain things about women, it's really disgusting. But you know what? That's on them. I'm going to be fine. I can assure you, I'm going to be perfectly fine. By the way, let me say that we are celebrating, our family is celebrating an amazing milestone this week. I want to do a big shout out to CNB. And I also want to do a big shout out to Felix over at CIBC, because he got me to thinking a little bit more about my financial freedom and what that looks like. And we have made a humongous movement just yesterday with my financial freedom. It feels so good to not have a house mortgage hanging over my head. I'm done. That's it. Right? Own my house free and clear from the bank. I think all Caymanians, this is what we strive for. And for me to reach that well in advance of any retirement, all I can say is it does require hard work. And hallelujah and praise the Lord that it has worked out. And these are the things that we as Caymanians need to be focused on. I will go to bat for my country any day of the week, right? But I also have to focus on my own, because nobody's going to be paying my bills when I turn 65 and at retirement age, right? So I need to focus on my own financial wellness, what that looks like for me, and just making, as they say, boss moves to make sure that I'm positioned exactly where I need to be. So thank you so much for most definitely for the good man above for making it possible, and for everyone else who has been part of my journey. In less than 10 years, you know, we did that. Basically 9 years, we were able to purchase our house and do that. So well in advance of a 25, 30-year mortgage. I can't remember what the original mortgage amount was, but it takes dedication. And I know that if I can do it, anybody else out there can do it as well. So thank you very, very much. And a big shout out to Miss Jessica Ebanks over at Cayman National Bank who is my banking manager, and really appreciate you, Jessica, and the entire team over there, John and Andrew as well. I miss Andrew. They moved him over to wealth management. But yeah, it's a good feeling. It's definitely, you feel like you can breathe a little bit. It's an amazing feeling. On that note, folks, we are always pushing for, educating people around their finances. And I'm still working and trying to get someone to sponsor that show where they come on and they teach us of what we need to do, how we can make better decisions around that. So stay tuned for more of those types of programming. And you guys have a fantastic weekend. God's willing, I will see you on Monday. Okay? All right, Cayman Airways, I'll be seeing you in a little bit too, flying on that beautiful plane. Such a gorgeous plane. Thank you so much.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Cold Hard Truth on Bobo 89.1 FM. Cayman's #1 talk show is live weekdays from 7:30 a.m. Never miss an episode again. Watch anytime on CMR's Facebook and YouTube channels for the latest show episodes. Don't forget to follow us online on our social media channels. And visit CaymanMarlRoad.com for all the latest news and community happenings.